Today, we will be looking at St. Patrick's Cathedral as a case study. Pictured on the right, we see St. Patrick's Cathedral in its modern-day condition. Originally, the building was designed by James Renwick Jr. in the 1870s and was later renovated by MBB architects, or otherwise known as Murphy Burnham and Buttrick architects, from 2015 to 2017, helping them achieve an annual 29% reduction in energy consumption. The building is located specifically at 5th Avenue and 51st Street in New York City. The client is the Archdiocese of New York. The predicted energy performance is 66 kBTU per square foot per year. The net carbon emissions adds up to 20.9 pounds per square foot per year, and the predicted water performance for all potable water uses, not including processed water, is 145 gallons per occupant. So looking at a brief timeline of the building to date, in 1879 the cathedral was originally opened and built by the architect James Renwick Jr. In 1927, Cardinal Hayes inaugurates the largest renovation seen yet for the cathedral. The sanctuary was enlarged, the choir gallery was rebuilt, along with many other interior changes. In 1942, architect Charles Maginnis implements new upper windows designs, which were more fitting for this neo-Gothic style of cathedral that James Renwick Jr. Originally thought up. And then in 2015 to 2017, this was when the geothermal wells, along with many other features, were added to the building to ultimately help with the structural integrity and the sustainability for future generations to come. So as evident in the picture, the space primarily fulfills two functions for the user. One, it serves as a working cathedral offering daily mass and confession times. And secondly, the building serves as a tourist hotspot, considering that the cathedral is located in the heart of the city and adjacent to the Rockefeller Center. The building may also serve as an attraction to those who recognize the innovation and sustainability it offers, as well as the architectural features it boasts on the exterior, being a prime example of neo-Gothic style architecture. So as the building is located in the heart of New York City, the vernacular architecture of the region can be seen as an Art Deco style. This style was prominent from the 1925s to the 1940s, and common characteristics of this style of architecture. The buildings are tall, sleek, linear, and they often contain exterior ornamentation, which is geometrically outlined and strategically placed. So some of the sustainable features evident in the building, and some of the primary ones, are the 10 geothermal wells. The building uses the thermal energy in the Earth's crust to power the cathedral, and this is one of their main sources of energy for the building. And number two, the modern structural glass walls and doors. These glass walls and doors offer new modern design solutions to maintain the structural integrity and the historic features in the interior to withstand the toughest wind conditions and help reach sustainability goals by creating a tighter energy-saving envelope. This ultimately helps to reduce thermal losses and moisture movement. And number three, the building utilizes high-efficiency new LED lighting fixtures and low-flow plumbing. The climate can be classified as a humid subtropical climate zone. This basically means that the summers average above 72 degrees Fahrenheit, and for the winter months, they stay above 27 degrees Fahrenheit on average. The project climate zone is the ASHRAE 4A. Now, observing some of the climate charts associated with the location in New York City, the first chart we're going to look at is the wind wheel. The wind wheel shows the light wind conditions present in New York City, as evident in the chart on the right. The structure has glass door openings and detailed and fragile work done to decorate the exterior through this neo-Gothic style of architecture. As the winds in this area are not so threatening to architecture, the cathedral has been able to sustain its exterior for all this time, from its original construction in 1870s with minimal effort and only slight preservation. So the second chart I wanted to look into was the ground temperature chart. Seeing as the building uses a 10-well geothermal system to provide its main source of energy to the cathedral, I found that it would be important to analyze these ground conditions, considering that our main source of energy comes from the ground. Although the chart on the right only looks into about 80 feet and the geothermal wells go thousands of feet deep into the ground, it still gives us an idea that this can be possible. And lastly, I wanted to look at the temperature range chart for the area. Because of the varying temperatures from the warm summers to the cold winters, as evident in the temperature range chart seen on the right, the building suffers thermal losses and moisture movement as well as air infiltration. The MBB architects provided a solution through their renovations by tightening the envelope and adding mechanized glass entry doors to reduce the air infiltration. In conclusion, the building is unique because of its ability to adapt and change with times to compensate for the sustainability issues while simultaneously preserving history in the context of the neo-Gothic style originally designed in the 1870s. With the small lock conditions reaching thousands of feet below bedrock, this building is truly a great example of how an architect can prioritize both historic preservation and sustainable building simultaneously. Thank you.